All right. Who has a 100-word summary of all the trouble you guys got into last week?
All I remember is the discussion about how me casting Hunger of Hadar is a scam.
Everything went really well, and there were no consequences. We fought giants.
And ogres and an Etten.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember how the session ended. Oh, that's right. It ended because he asked for a short sword and then immediately got the ability to use a long sword. I remember that now. So we turned in all of our problems.
Yeah, you guys kind of broke even on problems last week. You finally got back to 0 problems.
Yeah, so we've got to. So this week is for generating new problems.
I mentioned that in Adrex's journal.
So, question: did Birdie get away completely scot-free on the putting a trap in the elf guy's house?
That's an excellent question.
I'm just going to assume I got away scot-free until something bad happens.
I'm just gonna say, there were 2 people in that room, and only one of them got offered a reward.
Well, Birdie already got a hat, though, so...
It's a fine hat.
Real fun hat. So how much downtime do you guys want to take before we begin embarking on pirate adventure?
There was a number we had in mind that I don't remember.
It was 6 months before Adrex.
No.
Okay.
No.
It was like
what was the other?
There was a second time.
I don't think you actually gave us a strict.
No, there was Raazu's armor.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay. So, you guys turned over your prisoners to the orcs.
Yep.
The smithy decided to stay on at the dam and serve this orc tribe, continue to serve as their metal worker.
Okay.
Initially as kind of a prisoner situation, considering she did attempt to betray them, but provisionally also because she still does excellent work.
Wait, didn't the orcs betray the hop? Never mind.
She's a hobgoblin.
There was betrayal.
I know, but I think the orcs instigated. Anyway, go ahead. It's fine. Victor's right, the history. It's fine.
Well, yeah. What, were you assuming these were extremely progressive orcs?
I mean, we were hoping.
Are they woke?
They're works.
Their works.
The
Nodal.
The hobgoblin captain, though, was turned away from the dam into the wilderness.
Where I'm sure we'll never hear from him again.
He'll be fine.
Considering that they were working with hobgoblin armor to start with, and were fitting it for Raazu, she could accomplish this work in 2 weeks.
Okay.
And you're aware that plate armor takes 10 minutes to don and doff?
Yep.
And there is 0 chance of swimming in plate armor.
Yep.
Okay.
I love that. You said that with a context of, now I'm going to push you in water.
Listen,
Yeah,
I'm not
no.
saying there's any connection between these things. I'm just saying we're embarking on a pirate's adventure, and you can't swim in plate armor.
But Raazu doesn't know that.
We've all seen Game of Thrones, and we all know it's extremely rad to be fighting in plate armor on a ship. Wait,
I'm
is that in
going
the
to
show or
do
is that
Raazu
just
a
the book?
solid, and assuming... What's her intelligence score?
10.
10?
Mhm.
A person with intelligence 10 would realistically know that you cannot swim in plate armor.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm envisioning a scene where he's just like, well, Raazu doesn't know she can't swim in plate armor, so she'll just jump in the water.
No. What I'm saying is Raazu doesn't know that we're going straight into a pirate adventure. I'm not
okay.
metagaming that.
Okay. We needed to be clear about this, though. I don't want to continue with the story with the expectation that Raazu was just an idiot.
No.
Still, it's
We don't know that
extremely
she's
rad.
not an idiot. That still has yet to be determined.
Yeah, we'll see how that. We'll see how
Raazu
that.
can hold her breath
shakes
for a
out.
really long time. She'll just walk out.
We do have the wand of water breathing, so falls in the water.
Is Raazu carrying that?
Nope.
So if Raazu falls off one side of the ship and Birdie's standing on the other side and doesn't see it happen, how does this help her?
I mean, it makes Raazu feel better?
What?
It makes Raazu feel better.
Can't we during our downtime use the one thing to get the rune from the wand and then have Raazu learn water breathing?
Sure. You guys
Wouldn't
have
it
to
make
think
way
I have-
more sense, though, to just keep the wand and give it to Raazu?
I don't think I have the room for spells right now.
Oh, okay.
Look, let's just keep the wand.
The no rune does destroy the object, right?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
I believe so. Let me double check.
That sounds right to me, yeah.
Because it did destroy, like, the used scroll that was there.
That's a scroll, maybe it just drains a charge from a wand?
It consumes the wand,
Okay.
causing
So wait until it
magical
has one
residue to
charge, though.
coalesce into its component rune.
Well, it regains its charges.
Oh, okay.
So there's no reason to ever burn the wand.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you guys have 2 weeks of downtime.
Yeah.
Who wants to go first?
Adrex.
I heard Adrex say something.
Yeah.
I've actually. Oh, go ahead.
Adrex actually needs to upgrade his swords. He can wield heavier swords.
Upgrade
So-
his swords.
Yeah, and he wants them silvered too.
Alright.
So his new silvered. He wants new silvered swords. I guess is downtime action.
Okay.
Because of course I don't. See, I'm going first. So.
Okay.
How many swords is he's? Well, the long. Is he upgrading the long swords?
Yeah.
Okay. These will be available in decent number at the dam, simply because you guys just routed a whole bunch of hobgoblins that were here.
Cool.
So there are swords for him to claim of hobgoblin make. To silver them is going to cost 100 gold per sword in resources. And this is something that the smith can accomplish.
Yeah, I think we just got a whole bunch of gold, didn't we?
Yes, you did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That shouldn't be a problem. Excuse me.
So what is your actual downtime action?
In that case, I've got Birdie is trying to teach Adrex Arcana. There's 63 days remaining.
Okay.
So
You're going to spend the whole 2 weeks on that?
yeah, singular focus Adrex, as I call him.
Birdie, you spending the entire downtime teaching Adrex Arcana?
Is he?
Can I commission some studded leather from this armorer?
Studded leather?
Yeah. I know that it mostly works with metal, but I was just wondering.
Probably not from this particular armorer, because they weren't arming their goblins or anything, so they wouldn't have stuff in your size, but you could purchase studded leather for the price in the PHB.
Oh, okay. Like, but other than that, that's all I want.
So you're
I don't
gonna
mind
spend
helping
The
Adrex.
whole
Yeah,
2 weeks, okay?
I'll just charge him for the armor.
Seems fair.
Charging Adrex for the armor?
Yes, Adrex has to pay for my armor in regard. I told you I was going to get the money out of you for the training.
You could just take it from the party.
Yeah, that's what he's doing. He's getting it from the party loot.
Who's actually carrying the party loot?
Adrex?
It's extremely easy for him.
Yeah.
Apparently, party loot is just the money at this point because Birdie carries everything else.
Okay.
I don't have everything, do I?
Just the light things.
So you two are training Adrex and Arcana. Who else is taking down him actions?
I'm just gonna spend the time on poisons.
Okay.
It was 2 full weeks, is that right?
Yeah, you have 14 days.
Yep, 14 dice. Okay.
That leaves Raazu and Windy.
Yep, I'm gonna spend a couple more weeks practicing my cooking.
How much do you have left on cooking?
I have, before this, 1 second, let me check my notes. Because I've got them somewhere. It's not just under, 4 weeks left cooking, so 2 weeks after this.
Okay. And what about Raazu?
Get out of here.
Actually, I wanted to maybe pump Griagro for information.
So you're going to travel down to spend time with Griagro?
Yeah.
Okay, we are looking at
About 7 days travel.
7 days,
one way.
about 7 days travel time one way.
Yeah.
9, 10, 11.
So you could realistically spend about a day with Griagro and then get back.
51.
Mm-hmm. That sounds about right.
Okay, so what do you want from Griagro?
I wanted to ask him about some of the things that he was talking about when we first met him, way back. He said something that when Raazu drew the symbol of her spells for him, he seemed very intrigued by that, and I think he said he mused about it, saying something like, "So we're on the same side." Is that like what did he mean by that?
So when you approach Griagro's hideout after a long week of journeying through the wilderness,
Mm-hmm.
as you approach, the place is being guarded by orcs.
Okay.
And they seem to make no notice at all that you're coming towards them. You can tell that they're on alert, they're patrolling the area, but you are a ghost to them. It's like they look right through you. And you're able to
Sounds about
stride
right.
all the way up to the face of Griagro's cavern, which he has constructed a wooden facade over with heavy planks, with 2 guard towers on the outside, also manned by orcs.
He's certainly moved in. But no, I'll go in if no one's stopping me.
Now, no one stops you, and when you go in, the inside of the cave, you can see where Griagro has amassed a fairly comprehensive magical study. A lot of alchemical supplies, a more permanent version of what you saw in the tower in the Underdark.
Mm-hmm.
And Griagro eventually strides into the room. And one orc is slouched in front of his workbench. This orc is in what is very similar state as the drow from the Underdark. Griagro wraps his tentacled hand around the orc's head, lifts up his head, and uses him to speak. He tells you that he had foreseen your coming.
Foreseen it, huh? That's So you a soothsayer now? Is that what's going on?
He tells you that there are many dangers in the world, in the sunlit lands. Many more than he anticipated. It behooves him to keep careful watch of his territory.
I see. So, what about, so when we first met, you, like, and I'll kind of, well, more reminding Raazu herself as to what happened. You said that we were allies of some sort when I showed you the symbols of the magic that I possess. What was the meaning behind that?
He gives you a kind of dismissive answer, a kind of condescending, but he's like trying to let you down gently. The implication being that you wouldn't understand the explanation. Make an intelligence arcana check.
Okay, this is probably not going to work. Hang on. Yeah, intelligence arcana. She's not trained in. Where'd all these d20s come from? I mean, really? Like, we haven't rolled a single die. Okay, that's a 17.
17?
Yeah.
He goes into a very convoluted explanation. He tells you you're not going to understand it. You don't have the brain for it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's hard to follow it, but here's the gist. There are many different types of magic. Magic comes from a lot of places. There's not just one single source of it. And the way he describes it, your magic and his come from the same source. It's a type of magic that's drawn directly from the world itself. And when he says world, he speaks as though the land itself has life, has an agenda, and has goals. And then it creates a sort of magic in order to further those goals.
So Raazu goes ahead and buys into that for now, and she will say, so...
You got a 17 on Arcana.
Yeah.
He doesn't explain this, but Raazu, seeing what she has seen over the course of her adventures, this stands in very stark contrast to other types of magic she's seen. For example, magic of the Feywilds. Which Raazu takes to be a different source. You've also seen creatures that have magical abilities that seem to just come from inside of them, such as dragons. And she sees that to be a third source.
So Raazu starts putting some things together. So she starts drawing the various symbols that she's seen thus far, or at least parts of them. Raazu starts doing one of these.
Where are you drawing on this table?
Oh, over here by my name over here on the top. So she says, "This was one of the first symbols that we encountered, or at least thereabouts." Was a line tool on those. Okay, there. But this is a part of one of the symbols for one of the spells that we found before. That was Hadar, wasn't it? I was on top of Hadar. Yeah, I was on top of Hadar. And the Kobold can cast this spell, but he uses this symbol on top of it, on top of that spell.
He confirms that this symbol here is the source of the world's magic. And the word he uses to describe it is quintessence.
Quintessence.
The other symbol, he's familiar with it, but he doesn't know the specifics of what it means.
The person who knows this who knows this magic that our Kobold reverse engineered. He called it. I think it was the Hangman, and I think didn't he say it was from the Far Realm or something of that nature?
The Hangman said he received his magic in the Shadowfell.
Shadowfell. Okay. So, all right, and then judging by where we got the Dominate Person spell that I know, it started with this symbol, and again I used this symbol on the top of it to divine its meaning. But so would this be the source of Fey magic?
Greagro points to this one and says that you should beware this mark. He tells you that it's good that you came to him alone, because there is a betrayer in your number. If the battle comes sooner rather than later, you may have to strike down one of your own. And this symbol is the one that Red replaced his mark with when he swapped out his spells.
So if this symbol is associated with the Shadowfell. This is associated with the world. Again, is this with the Feywild?
Oh yeah, he'll confirm that for you.
Okay.
He doesn't have great knowledge about the Feywild and the Shadowfell, but over the course of your discussions, because Raazu has first-hand knowledge of the Feywild, he's willing to conclude that's what this means.
Okay.
These are areas of study that he has not entered into.
Okay. Raazu will. That's really all I got.
Okay.
I mean, that's actually very informative, and Raazu will thank him for his time, and then make our way back north.
Griagro, before you leave, he almost seems to be seeking validation. But he tells you that he hopes that the balance of these lands between the various warring tribes will not be upended now that he's repurposed some of the local orcs.
As long as you don't make a egregious habit of it, you should be fine.
I mean, from what you've seen, he's already kind of blown straight past egregious habit.
Repurposed the orcs.
They weren't going to any use, and
Just be careful is all I'm going to say.
By the time you arrive back at Mogder Dam, everybody else has finished up their downtime, and your plate armor is just about completed.
hey,
Sure.
Greg.
Yeah.
Spellcrafting was just a long rest, right? Could I do that at the same time as I was doing my training? Just because I want to keep trying that shield one and see if I can get a 20.
You can do one or the other. Each time that you do...
I don't care enough about the shield spell.
Okay.
Can I continue progression on learning Mokden during the meantime?
No, because you're traveling
Okay.
alone, which means your long rests are spent sleeping very lightly.
Fair enough.
Long rests require... Essentially, Raazu doesn't get to take long rests while journeying alone, because you don't have safety. Not that there's anything along the path that's going to be much of a match for Raazu. Unless you want me to roll on a random encounter table and I get something like a storm giant. Shall we do it?
Yeah, let's not.
If you pull it off, you might level up pretty far.
I might roll Demi-Lich. I had a lot of fun running that Demi-Lich last night.
Yeah, I don't think I want to deal with the Sararak. Thank you very much.
So something that stood out to you while you were speaking with the commander at the wall was that he was looking into reports of magic users.
Oh, that was the other thing I wanted to bring up. Was the examples of magic from the Southlands beyond the wall that we encountered, and Raazu did. It popped out of my head and then it came back.
Well, Gregor doesn't chase rumors. He's into study and experimentation. But the story was that there was a pirate ship sailing the seas that had the ability to calm the winds, to beset other vessels so they couldn't sail and overpower them. And this is something that you guys have decided to investigate.
Yeah,
You know who does cheese rumors?
us. And Raazu will tell the others of the conversations that she had with Griagro.
So what is Red's reaction to this news?
I mean, it's specifically you call out the mark on my face?
Yes.
I mean, you don't actually believe that, do you?
It all seems superstition, but
Superstition. That doesn't really seem like the guy we met.
But I mean, as long as you don't turn code on us, I'm perfectly happy to continue working with you, Red. And you've given me no reason to doubt your fidelity to this point, so I see no reason to worry about it.
Besides, who would want to go live in the Feywild? That place sucked.
Was it worse than the Underdark?
Yeah.
Feywild left quite an impression on Windy.
I mean, it did make me extremely pretty.
7 out of 10.
I heard
Wow,
that.
that hurts.
There aren't a lot of actual settlements. Like, there's no great port town anywhere in the north. But there are many just smaller, like, fishing villages and whatnot. All along the waterfront over here. And that's where you aim your investigations. Let's get a investigation check for everybody in the party.
Individual investigations?
Individually.
Or... Okay.
Unless somebody's not helping. Who's not helping, Birdie?
What? Like that's
got a 2.
That's slanderous.
Birdie, what'd you
I got
roll?
a 22.
I had a 13.
It's
7.
good because I'm only half paying attention as I try to navigate D&D Beyond.
Adrex got a 2.
Yeah.
Raazu
7.
and Windy.
10.
What about Red?
Got a
22.
22.
Oh, okay.
Birdie, did you purchase your studded leather armor?
Yes, I just subtracted the money.
I mean, after playing with you guys for like 4 years, I would almost welcome the backstabbing rogue who wants to actually steal gold from other party members. It's like, I can't get you guys to have individual gold.
It's a lot of work. Having
I
things.
feel like there was some of that with Riot.
It was like the opposite with Riot. She was always giving her gold away.
Yeah.
Birdie and Windy. You learn the name of this ship. This supposed ship that can becalm the winds. And it's called the Deceit.
Good name.
And these little villages, most of them, they've only heard tales of it. They see it sailing in the far distance sometimes. But they speak of this ship with gray scales. And they've heard tales of this gray-skinned captain with coal-black eyes. Red.
Hmm?
You actually uncover from time to time this agents of the Deceit, somebody from the actual ship. They don't do their recruiting by taking prisoners on the seas. Instead, they actually have agents working on land, and you manage to confirm that the officers aboard this ship
Mm-hmm.
are all magic users. You hear stories how the officers, the captain included aboard this ship, all have strangely shaped tattoos that give them magical abilities.
Sounds like the kind of people we want to meet, eh?
When we meet them and we inevitably have to kill them, remember to take a knife and cut the tattoos off.
Birdie!
What?
That's fucked up.
Yeah, Birdie, don't be ridiculous. We'll just take a drawing.
Wendy will take a charcoal etching. So I'll leave it to you to devise a plan to get aboard this ship.
Why don't we see if they'll hire us? We meet the criteria for joining the crew.
I mean, so we don't learn anything about like who they've attacked or anything like that. Just that.
As far as who they've attacked, there's only a lot of rumors. Most of the actual trade done, say, along these major rivers, what do we call it? The Trust's End. They have the most rumors about the deceit. It seems that they set upon mercantile vessels sailing the archipelago out to the east. And you hear conflicting reports. Sometimes they say they sink the ship and leave no survivors. Other times you hear that the pirates take the treasure but leave the ship intact. You hear everything in between. The ship doesn't seem to call to port very often. You don't hear any stories about where it actually weighs anchor, where it actually comes to land.
And we don't actually meet anyone who says they were attacked.
No, not up and down the coast, and none of the river-going vessels either.
Well, like, we could hire on as guards to one of these merchant vessels and hope they get attacked. Or we can, like I said, try and join the pirate crew.
Or we could just try to set up a meeting. Like you found these agents, Red, right? We could show them what we could do. Hope that maybe
I just learned about them. I don't think I actually met or got any specific information about them.
Well, you got a 22 on investigation. You have as specific information as you need.
Right. Oh, okay. So I could try and what exactly do I know about them then, aside from the tattoos?
If you were to spread around this information that you have these magical tattoos, that you have these powers, you think that they might seek you out.
Mm-hmm.
They might show interest in you and yours.
Oh, well, that sounds easy enough. I'm very good at shouting.
So Adrex just perches somewhere.
Don't
starts
listen to
shouting.
on doors.
I
Don't
make
listen to on doors.
fireworks! They're real colorful.
Excuse me.
He's Bosch von Rossenberg.
once per day.
So what's the plan? We're going to seed information.
Like, how do we want to approach them?
That's up to you guys.
Like, do we want to approach them friendly, or like, do we want to wipe them out because they're pirates? What?
Well, we haven't even met anyone who says they've been attacked yet.
Not
We should
on
find
the...
out all we can about them before we decide how we're going to react to them. So let's just approach friendly to start, and then see how things go.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah, that sounds fun.
So, right, you're going to actively seek them out and set up a meeting? Or...
Yeah.
Okay. Roll... Roll a charisma check.
Six.
6?
You're usually better than this, Fred.
Yeah, usually.
Didn't put his makeup on this morning.
One of the swamp villages that you guys are passing through. in about this area here, at the mouth of the Great River, where most of the where there's probably more boat activity than elsewhere along the more mountainous or forested coasts. You learn that one of these ship's agents, a yellow Tabashi, frequently comes here to acquire food items, various spices and dried goods that are kind of indigenous to the swamp. And you're thinking that approaching her and trying to set up a meeting would be the way to do it. You've heard that she is extremely skittish, extremely fast, and that she doesn't think that anybody realizes she's a pirate, but everybody totally does.
Does she outwardly have a visible tattoo?
No, she does not.
Does she have an eye patch?
No, she does not.
Okay.
They call her Pirate Jane.
No, actually, her name is Sweetie Bird.
That's a pretty good name. Also, that is the...
Yeah?
That's it.
Yeah?
Nodal's upset that he didn't think of that name first.
If there is something that I am not at the moment, it is upset.
And yeah, Red, with your investigation, you managed to keep tabs on this Tabashi, and you confirm that she is, in fact, in the area at this time.
Well, maybe approaching her with all of us with weapons in hand sound like to drive her into hiding.
Maybe we should send the least threatening of us forward.
Yeah, maybe we should. Raazu says very dryly, staring at Birdie.
Maybe we should send someone who might be able to convince her of things.
Like, I was thinking of Red, specifically. But, like, thank you, I guess.
So, the Snake Man is the least intimidating member of this party? Not the
I didn't say
2 foot tall
intimidating,
kobold?
I said threatening.
Okay, so the Snake Man is less threatening than the 2 foot tall kobold?
Listen, I'm wily.
Sure, so I'll give the rest of the group my swords and my bow, so I'm not outwardly carrying any weapons, and I'll try and set up a meeting with her.
Okay. How do you go about this? Like, do you confront her, or do you like let some people know that you're looking to set up a meet?
I'll go to one of the stores that she goes to buy dry goods and leave a message for her with like a silver.
You leave a silver piece with them?
Yeah, it's for them, not for her.
Okay.
Does that seem like a sufficient bribe, or do I have to pay them more?
That seems like a sufficient bribe.
Okay.
This isn't Sigil, guys. Come on now.
She tells you that if you're going to want to meet with Sweetie Bird, you're going to need to have something to offer her.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm stalling because I'm going to fantasynamegenerators.com.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which website is that?
Oh, you know, fantasynamegenerators.com.
FantasyNameGenerators.com.
Apollophia.
There is a
Magrathea?
particular spice that grows in the area called sun chervil.
Mm-hmm.
That you'd be familiar with because this is actually your alma mater is close by.
Right. Yeah. Hopefully nobody recognizes
Thank
me.
you.
You recognize this spice as being particularly dangerous to harvest because the only place that it grows in sufficient quantity is nearby to Catoblepus dung.
Mm-hmm.
This is why it's not generally harvested by the peoples here, but Sweetie Bird would pay very dearly to get her hands on some.
Oh, thank you. I'll chip them another copper, tell them that the message can wait. We should go get some of the spice first, and I'll inform my companions of this.
So, Catoblepus dung, you say?
What's that?
I don't know. What's a catoblepus?
They're large. I want to say they're like, what do they call them? Cows? Is that
Oh, I
right?
can handle cows.
I think that's what the Southerners call them. Cows?
Well,
Oh,
what
don't
makes
worry, I
it-
could even handle a big cow.
Well, what makes cows so dangerous?
They turn you to stone.
Well,
That seems very dangerous.
that's
yes.
not the same. That's not like a cow is, Red. That's not a cow thing.
Isn't it? I don't think I've ever seen a cow.
No.
I've heard of them. I mean, I've heard humans talk about them. They're supposedly delicious.
Well, maybe we should go hunt one then. We can just avoid the stone.
I would like to not turn to stone.
Oh, would you?
Like, don't they have to look at you? Don't you have to like meet eyes with them to turn to stone? Or
Ah,
like we could send Wendy in to just get all the spices, and we could just. come back.
Also, Brick, as long as we're in this part of the world, I'm going to make part of my daily routine. Basically, as soon as we get within a day's march of the Fen, I'm going to use my disguise kit and just look like a different Yuan-ti.
Okay. It's probably smart.
Yeah.
What does this spice taste like?
oh, we'll find out. We're not going to get just enough to give to her. I'm using some.
Red, you know this particular spice to be extremely savory
Mm-hmm.
and also mildly poisonous.
Only mildly, though, right?
I mean, it's hard for me to say what's mildly poisonous and what's lethally poisonous if I haven't used it before on others.
Well, we'll find out.
Note to self: don't let Red cook.
Listen, if this Tabashi knows how to cook it, we'll just ask her.
Birdie, if I wanted to poison you, I would. Don't worry about it.
That just does not make me feel better. Thank you.
Well, obviously, I don't want to poison you because you're not poisoned right now.
But you could be poisoned in the future.
I don't see myself wanting to poison Birdie.
Really?
Yet.
I think Red
Raazu-
is the one that
Raazu-
has suffered the least at my hands, actually.
I would imagine that Raazu and Red and Adrex both glare at Red when he says that.
Well, no, Adrex isn't glaring. Adrex is eyebrows
Matrix is
raised.
thinking.
Really?
Besides, I mean, Birdie's going to be the best one to track anything down in the wilderness anyway. Like, I'm okay with poisons, but I'm not quite the tracker he is.
Plus, if we're really tracking cows with a stone gaze attack, we really want Birdie for this.
Yeah. Well, we'd want Birdie regardless.
Birdie's the person we could most easily carry if they became a statue.
Exactly.
See,
You
we
don't
wouldn't
want-
leave you behind. Doesn't that make you feel good?
I mean, you don't want to turn me to stone. You have to carry me.
No one wants that.
Adrex makes himself as wide as possible.
Okay.
Well then, I guess we look and
So
see
wait,
if
though,
there's
they need
any
to be able
of
to
these-
see you? So, like, if they were in, for example, just for instance, some sort of sphere of darkness.
I honestly don't know the details. I've always generally avoided them.
Do catoblepuses live in the swamp Birdie grew up in?
I'll leave that up to you.
I think the dragon would have eaten them all if they did.
What if we find these... We go hunt for these things, right? If we think that there's a danger of a catoblepus coming on us, Birdie can dig a big pit. And then when it falls in the pit, we can put a nice circle of horrible darkness on it. Then it can't see anyone.
Okay, fine, whatever. Let's go.
Sure.
Red.
Mhm.
I need somebody who's not red to make a survival check, and then somebody who is red to make a nature check.
All right.
Raazu,
I can do the red one.
I have a plus. You said nature.
Survival.
My survival is +9.
Can I aid Birdie in that?
Yes.
Okay.
You might want to aid me instead, because my nature's only +2.
You
I
can't
don't-
because nobody else knows what a catoblepus is.
Okay. They're
So
like cows.
21 survival.
I've got a really
Yeah,
good animal
5
handling. I can help with
on,
cows.
5 on cow knowing.
Okay.
I'm cow knowing.
And what was the survival?
21.
Okay.
As long as we don't get snuck up on, I think we'll be okay.
You always say that, though.
It's because
Now
I'm
I need
sneaky.
to open up immigrant.com, which is everybody's favorite website.
I thought our favorite website was fantasynamegenerator.com.
Details.
That was a sarcastic favorite.
Is
I
it?
thought our,
Just now.
thought our favorite website was skivvy.com.
Now that never gets updated.
Eh. If only we could complain. If only we could complain to the owner of the
We're in
website.
like a town, right? On our way out.
It's not even much of a town. It's like a couple of fishing huts just along the ocean.
I have an idea.
Okay.
Oh god.
I want to buy like a tarp that you'd like keep like fishing boats and stuff underneath. But I want it to weigh less than 5 pounds.
You're not gonna be able to find a tarp. You'll probably be able to find a lot of net.
Could I mess with the net such that it could block vision?
No.
What if? Okay, guys, I need you to help me with this idea because this is a great idea.
Okay.
Okay.
How do we?
Well, what you could do, right, is you could get the net to pin the thing down, and then I could just drop a.
Well,
I could not a hunger of dark. I could drop a minor illusion on the thing, and just make it a black square, 5 foot wide.
Have you considered multiple smaller tarps?
I do have a net. I have a magical net.
Like the magical net is definitely our net plan. Like if we need to not have it move, the magical net for sure.
I believe I was trapped in it once.
Oh, don't worry. I have seriously considered taking net as a Kensei weapon.
God, that sounds awesome.
Yeah.
Now this net is especially useful on Windy, as I recall.
Yes. It's a
I
net
also-
+1. Succeed to hit on an avian creature.
So-
Its speed is 0.
What is the plan?
I don't know. What did I learn from cow knowing of 5?
They go move.
You know it's large.
Mm-hmm.
It's of size large, so it's probably too big to be held down by Adrex's net. But
Mhm.
one of the nets that they used to like batten down one of their like little river fishing boats, 2 of you working in tandem might be able to immobilize
And
it
it-
with this net. As to
and
whether or
it's
not
on
you'd be
the-
able to hold it is another question.
It's on the large size of large, right? It's like larger than a horse.
I don't know because 5th edition doesn't give you that information. But
Okay.
judging by the picture, yes, it's pretty
Yeah.
large. It's like elephant large.
Yeah. Are elephants really just large? The small ones, right?
I think so.
I thought they were huge.
I think elephants are monstrosities.
Elephants are beasts because Mahogany turned into one once.
I think I'd remember that.
I mean, if you were an elephant, you would.
Wow.
And that's it. I think we would just be done with D&D. Thanks for playing, guys.
Yeah. Good night.
Thanks, Destil.
Later. See you
Bye-bye.
next week. Actually, no. Don't see you next week because we Destil ended it. The campaign's over.
So is that the entirety of the plan, to use the net to immobilize this thing?
Well, if we can immobilize the thing, we can then just drop a horrible death circle on it.
Okay. Yeah, you can purchase nets from these people for the price in the PHP. If you buy 2 of them, I'll say that you have one enormous net.
One big net.
I'll say that you'll have it works the same rules as a regular net, but it takes 2 of you to work it because it's large and needs to be spread over a larger area.
Gotcha.
So 2 of you taking the net action at the same time would be able to make a net attack with it against a large.
Worst comes to
creature.
worst, we can take this net, and if we decide against throwing it on the thing, we can use it to make a really big pit trap.
Yeah.
Ooh, I like that idea.
I mean, we could just find the spices and leave before it notices us.
That too. But we do have a. It's a good backup option, I think.
You are telling
it's good
me that there's a cow that turns things to stone with its vision, and you're not curious about it?
Not in the least. No, not at all.
No, I rather like not being stone, actually. There's a reason I've always been told to avoid them. And to be fair, most of the things I learned when I was younger were, completely wrong and garbage. But I feel like this one might not be.
You guys trek through the swamp, steering clear of any Yuan-ti. And Red, one thing you know about the Catoblepus is that it has a very sharp, putrid odor about it.
Cow knowing of 5.
You find a small ruins out in the swamp, about a day's travel from the coast. And it's actually not even much of a ruin, just a couple of cobblestones that maybe used to be walls or foundation, kind of strewn throughout the marshy ground here. Surrounding what looks to be a fire pit, which looks more recent than the structure, but still not very recent. Like, this fire pit looks like it was constructed before winter set in. And around it are several, I guess they'd be skeletons by now, of Yuan-ti soldiers. And also in the area, you find several piles of petrified Catoblepus dung.
So,
Who can make me a nature or herbalism kit check to identify the sun shrivel?
So, I don't think any of us have an herbalism. No, wait. One of us has an herbalism kit, don't we?
I don't think it's red.
No.
It's me.
I
I'll
mean,
make an herbalism kit check.
Okay.
would that beat a +9 though?
Then why did you ask me to do it, Birdie?
I'm wondering if that would beat a +9.
Birdie
No.
just wants to brag about his +9.
Okay, fine. That's 23.
To be fair, Nodal has done this in the past.
Birdie, where in the confines of this structure do you find these herbs? Go ahead and place yourself down, and everybody else kind of scatter yourself around.
That's not the token I want.
So going through the remains of this fire pit
That's
and these dead...
Are these 5-foot squares?
Yes.
Okay.
And these dead Yuan-ti skeletons laying about. Who's trained in Arcana? Just Birdie?
Just Birdie.
Birdie, make that check. Intelligence Arcana.
That is 26.
You find no small amount of this, what's called sun shrivel, this herb that you find. And there's these little hard nuts that when you crack one with sufficient force, makes this very kind of acrid, smoky, very textured brown spice. You think if you grind a whole bunch of these for a long time, you could make a decent amount. The fact that the locals don't harvest it tells you that it's too dangerous to harvest. The fact that there's so much of it here tells you that this is where the Catoblepus nests. And the fact that these Yuan-ti skeletons are dead and not petrified tells you that Red doesn't know anything about cows.
Right.
And this dawns on you as you're sitting here gathering up these little sun shrivel peppercorns, that if the Catoblepus killed these things, it didn't petrify them.
Well, I'm just gonna very quickly gather up everything I can,
Okay.
and then we need to get the heck out of here.
That sounds great. Why don't we roll initiative?
I always knew Red would get us killed hunting cows.
Like I said, they're supposed to be delicious.
Like, if we kill this Catoblepus doesn't kill all of us, Wendy, you should cook it.
Hey, Birdie, did your initiative beat a 24? Huh, Birdie?
Wow. Getting salty at each other today.
Depends on whether or not he's surprised.
Oh, fuck.
We should not be
Windy.
surprised.
You hear
Yeah.
it first. There's a loud crashing sound coming from this direction, and you see this tree kind of split and fall as the Catoblepus bounds through it. And it looks angry, and it is enormous.
Oh, God.
Let me see if I can find a good picture of a Catoblepus. But Birdie, you're not allowed to look at, or Windy, you're not allowed to look at it. Everybody else can look at it, but Windy can't.
What?
I can only look at the edges of it, so someone has to, like, filter it in black.
My god, I forgot how big the Catoblepus is in Final Fantasy 15. This one's not quite that big.
Are you putting it in?
Yeah, I'm just loading it up here. It's Windy's turn, though. Windy has the initiative.
Alright. I think... best case scenario, Red's right, and it requires you to, like, look at you. So I'm gonna make it go look at me. By getting around the back of it. And then I'm gonna fire a couple of arrows at it.
Okay. This is the second edition Catoblepus, because it's the better piece of artwork.
The one that can get in 16 other Catoblepuses.
Yep.
Let's make this a sharpshooter shot. Also,
Okay.
that was a good joke.
Oh, actually, before you move, Windy.
Yeah.
Nope, you're fine. Never mind.
Is he fat enough to take up those 4 squares that he's sitting in?
Not quite, but he has this large craning neck. He definitely controls all 4 of those squares.
Okay.
You're not going to be able to move into one of those squares.
Okay, but
That's one hit for 22 piercing.
What armor class did you hit?
23.
That hits.
Yeah.
For 22 piercing damage?
Yeah.
Okay.
But you're saying like these like
No, he's got the
12
4 squares. That the creature isn't physically large enough, but that's a space because of his neck.
It's not
Is
literally
how I
a
heard it.
cube-shaped monster that's taking up exactly 10 feet on a side, is what I mean.
okay.
Yeah, we're also not taking up 5 feet. But we
Yeah.
take up 5 feet.
Adrex is.
He's as wide as possible.
Birdie, you're next.
He's holding his arms out like Popeye.
I am going to run away. Like, how high are these walls?
They're high enough that you could duck down behind them, but probably not anybody else.
Okay, well, I'm going to go here and
Okay.
take going to take a shot with my short bow, and then, well, actually, I'm going to hide. I'm going to take a hide action.
You can't, because the Catoblepus is watching you. He knows where you're going.
Oh, okay. Well, in that case, I'll just take a pot shot at it and then duck down behind the
Okay.
wall. For a... That is probably not going to hit. That is a 9.
9 does not hit.
Okay.
And you
Well,
duck down and
does it-
take cover behind the wall?
Does a 10 hit? Because I forgot I got the bowstring on
Nope, 10 does not hit.
there. Okay. Yeah, I'm ducking down behind the wall.
Red.
Let's move to here, rapier out. Bonus action to give Raazu advantage on or attack against the Catoblepus, and ready in action to stab it once one of my allies is next to it.
Okay. Adrex.
Oh, that's me.
That you.
I do want to point out that there is a monster called a stench cow in D&D, but it's a different monster. That's not what a Catoblepus is.
I have
Okay.
to Google this because I don't know what that is.
So that
It's-
awesome feat that I just took.
Yeah.
With swords and everything, and roll d8s now. Adrex kisses one of his hand axes and hurls it at the Catoblepus.
Okay. Keep in mind that stench cow is spelled with a K for some reason.
I see that. Yes.
It's a 10, which is probably not going to hit.
That's awful. Why would you do that?
Adrex kisses his other axe, tosses that too.
And there it goes. It's gone.
I die.
For 18.
18 will hit.
18 will hit.
Narrowing it down.
For 11 damage.
Okay.
And please to be making a strength saving throw.
22. I'm sorry, 23.
Yeah, alright, I'll allow it.
It's a pretty big monster, dude.
Yeah. That's not going to stop Adrex. Well, he still takes another 2 damage.
2 damage?
Yeah.
Are you trying to knock him prone or knock him back?
Knock him prone.
Okay. It's not a
Red.
bad idea.
Make a constitution saving throw.
Is this against magic or a spell?
It is not.
Okay, that's, I believe, a 16.
16? Okay. $32 points of necrotic damage, which you can cut in half for passing the save. As this Catoblepus rears up with its neck and glares down at you and fires this death ray that just encompasses your body, and you feel your life energy just seep away. It's very cold and very itchy and very smelly.
Red, are you turning to stone?
You don't feel like you're turned to stone.
No, just... Ow!
Just icky.